It's time for Third Calling, where we ask the question, what are you doing the rest of your life? Perhaps you've retired, your nest is empty, you're in a transition, or thinking about what to do and be in a new season of life. Richard and Leona Bergstrom are co-directors of Reignite and authors of the book Third Calling. They're here to challenge and encourage each of us to follow God's calling and live with purpose and passion for the rest of our lives.
And we do have the Bergstroms with us once again. Third Calling, what are you doing with the rest of your life? A radio kind of accompanying vignette that goes along with their book of the same name and exploring different things on what to do at this third stage of your life, kind of we say retirement years. But Richard, you want to kind of expand on this. This is a subject that we kind of dealt with on the show that we did with you too a few years ago, Amazing Grace. You have a lot of opinions about principle number 7.
Yes, that's to understand the dominant cultural attitude toward aging and resist it.
And resist it.
We have a favorite bumper sticker we saw years ago that was called Subvert the Dominant Paradigm. And the dominant paradigm of aging and retirement is to disengage, head for the Sun Belt, improve your game of golf, and just enjoy life. And so it's retirement as leisure and to some extent self-indulgence. We're not against leisure or fun, but is that the ultimate purpose of our life? And we wrote our book, Third Calling, in the context of Sun City West, Arizona. And we were right in the midst of it as we were writing in February of 2016. And everywhere around us, people were living out the retirement dream. But at the same time, we're asking, is there purpose beyond that? And so there's a certain form of ageism that exists within the culture, but also within the church, frankly.
So is that what you mean by, what do you mean by ageism then? That attitude, you're supposed to just kick back and...
Well, actually, ageism is more of a prejudice against the old or the aging and stereotypes about it. And if you've ever tried to pick up a birthday card for anybody 40 or over, it's all about being over the hill and a downward slide. But in the church, we also find there's an awful lot of ageism on the part of church leaders, even pastors, younger pastors, that don't quite have the full picture on the potential of those who are older in years. Sometimes older adults do this to themselves by disengaging or even becoming critical or disruptive to what the church is trying to do in moving forward with reaching younger families. But it's important for the church to overcome that as well as the individual.
Well, the dominant paradigm being, whether it's in the church or the culture, the word retire means sit back, pull back, put your feet up, and a sort of a underlying statement, because you really don't have anything else to offer, right? And what we're trying to say is, wait a minute, the race is still on. You still have things to offer both the church and the world, and to subvert that.
Well, and I've often heard it said the Bible doesn't speak about retirement anywhere.
Well, that's a bit of a misnomer because the Levites retired or were transitioned from serving in the temple.
With the exception of the Levites.
But the word doesn't occur. Yeah, but in fact, there is a time for us to transition out of the traditional career or the workplace and to enter into a new stage of life as we're able to.
Well, how can we swim against that stream? And you mentioned something here called the Retirement Reformation. What does that mean?
Just recently, within the last few months, there's been a group of people that we've had the opportunity to be part of, met in Colorado Springs as a roundtable, some very significant leaders from various disciplines within the Christian ministries, and developed or set the stage for what we're calling the Retirement Reformation. You can learn more about it at retirementreformation.org. But it's the idea that how can we as Christians say, wait a minute, we're not just about leisure. We're not just about self-indulgence. We're not even about just sitting back or doing what you've assigned us to do in the church. We're about reforming retirement to be a period of time where we serve God with renewed enthusiasm. So they've actually developed a manifesto, which we've encouraged people to sign. And Christians all over the country are signing this saying, I pledge that this period of my life is devoted to making a difference in the world and in the Christian community.
That's, again, retirementreformation.org.
It's kind of a new movement.
That's cool. I like that. Well, that's kind of what we're all about here with Third Calling. What are you doing with the rest of your life? This radio feature accompanying a book that the Bergstroms wrote a few years ago, but still really good impact on people in those retirement years, and the Bergstroms do seminars and different outreaches into churches, and you can find out more about how to have them maybe at your church or event at thirdcalling.com. Again, this has been Third Calling. What are you doing with the rest of your life with Richard and Leona Bergstrom on KCIS?
You've been listening to Richard and Leona Bergstrom, directors of Reignite and authors of Third Calling. What are you doing the rest of your life? To learn more about discovering your purpose and following your calling, visit thirdcalling.com. You can order their book, as well as an accompanying study guide on Amazon or on the Third Calling website. You can also listen to this feature again at kcisradio.com.